Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Clinical Application of Respiratory Care by Barry A. Shapiro, Ronald A. Harrison, and Carole A. Trout. Peace, YouTube. What's going on? Happy Friday. I'm your moderator and narrator, Uriel. So, we enter a new chapter today, chapter 18. Oh, wow. This is amazing that I'm so grateful and thankful for all that we have done, all the love, how far we've come. Highest heart love. So, this is the introduction of Section 5, Clinical Assessment of Acute Respiratory Failure. This is the new section, Chapter 18. Yes. Peace, YouTube. Eyes, heart, love. Welcome. All right. Here's the start of Chapter 18, page 299. Happy Friday. Peace, YouTube. All right. Defining acute respiratory failure. So we're taking notes because we have defining. So we are going to get a bunch of explanations. All right, here we go. Defining respiratory failure. Top of page 299. Respiration has been defined for almost 100 years as the movement of gas molecules across permeable membranes. The single-cell animal very simply acquires oxygen from the environment and expels the carbon dioxide metabolite. In this organism, the entire process of respiration requires nothing more than simple diffusion across the cell membrane. In man and woman, respiration depends upon the cardiopulmonary system, two distinct capillary beds interfaced with a pulmonary and cardiovascular systems. This cardiopulmonary system is responsible not only for ensuring the prime requisite of cellular metabolism, oxygenation, but also for the moment-to-moment control of metabolite excretion, carbon dioxide, and thereby acid-base balance. Homeostasis is the capability of physiologic systems to maintain internal stability by altering their responses to any situation or stimulus tending to disturb their normal condition or function. Thus, cardiopulmonary homeostasis would depend upon the ability of its components to alter their function when presented with disease processes. Yes. Depends upon the ability of the cardio. Adequate respiration in man and woman depends upon the ability of the cardiopulmonary system to respond to stress by increasing its output and thus its work. An operational definition of organ failure is the failure of an organ system to meet the metabolic demands placed upon it by the organism. In keeping with this definition, heart failure may be considered with respect to tissue diffusion. The failure of the heart to meet the metabolic demands of the body, and with respect to tissue perfusion. This concept makes no reference to the volume of cardiac output. That is, nothing is stated as to whether the heart is pumping more blood, less blood, or normal amounts of blood. In fact, high output cardiac failure is not only possible, but quite common. In terms of respiration, failure denotes the inability of the cardiopulmonary system to maintain adequate homeostasis. Although respiration may fail to meet metabolic demands at the tissue as well as the pulmonary level, tradition and practicality dictate that the term respiratory failure in clinical parlance refers to failure of adequate gas exchange at the pulmonary level. That's very key, right? Peace, hi, it's our love, yes. The light workers are here putting in that work. Happy Friday, happy new month, yes. We're at the top of page 300. We made it to 300. Oh my goodness, see? Much love. We made it. Oh, wow. All right. Defining acute respiratory failure. The cardiopulmonary system possesses a substantial ability to adjust to distinctly abnormal internal conditions if the change from normal is gradual. We refer to such compensated homeostatic states as chronic. There you go. There we go. Ding! There it is. That's what's chronic. Cardiopulmonary disease that is progressive and insidious will eventually result in chronic respiratory failure. This means that although the system is unable to maintain normal conditions, the abnormal state has been compensated and the result is inadequate milieu to sustain life. Whenever a cardiopulmonary disease develops rapidly or whenever the cardiopulmonary system is incapable of compensating, the result is a life-threatening respiratory abnormality. Acute respiratory failure denotes a direct life-threatening inability of the cardiopulmonary system to maintain adequate gas exchange at the pulmonary level. Defining acute respiratory care. In the middle of page 300. The acutely decompensating cardiopulmonary system will ultimately result in the organism's death unless gas exchange is supported. The organism that is unable to maintain adequate vital organ function without supportive therapy is termed critically ill. Acute respiratory care is the discipline devoted to the maintenance of adequate gas exchange through support of the cardiopulmonary system. Thus, application of acute respiratory care depends upon diagnosis of this existence of acute respiratory failure or the threat of impending acute respiratory failure, acute respiratory insufficiency. Thank you so much for the beautiful wishes in the chat. We love all the light workers and book lovers community. Man, highest heart love. Thank you, Kenneth, for being here. Uh, we love all the great divine workers out there pushing to shine light out there. So this is that peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. So you are so welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the likes and subs. We're pushing towards 600 subs reading books on this part of YouTube. So I wish peace to you as well and guiding light. Defining acute respiratory insufficiency. When gas exchange is maintained at an adequate or minimally acceptable level at the expense of a significant increase in cardiopulmonary work, the increased work becomes obvious to the clinician, even though acute respiratory failure is not present. The homeostatic balance is potentially threatened since the cardiopulmonary system cannot increase its work indefinitely. Acute respiratory insufficiency is the circumstance in which gas exchange is maintained at an acceptable level only at the expense of significantly increased work of the cardiopulmonary system. The clinical significance of acute respiratory insufficiency is that acute respiratory failure will ensue when the cardiopulmonary system becomes incapable of maintaining the increased work. Very key. Very key. Right? No, he could never read no book like this. His vocabulary is too low. You got to go into another room, another part of YouTube. This is the high level, super saiyan part of YouTube. Yeah, not this isn't Dummyville. This is the beautiful part of YouTube. So thank you. Yes. The process of attempting to restore a decompensated cardiopulmonary system to an acceptable level of function. Resuscitation in well established acute respiratory failure seldom leads to a successful outcome. Thus, intervention with supportive measures prior to the total collapse of cardiopulmonary homeostasis has become an important aspect of acute respiratory care. When acute respiratory failure is developing, the diagnosis is best made by serial measurement of arterial blood gases, severe oxygen deficit, hypoxemia, significant decreases in alveolar ventilation, increased arterial PCO2s in conjunction with decreased pHs, or a combination of both oxygen and carbon dioxide gas exchange abnormalities, ultimately confirms the diagnosis of acute respiratory failure. The need to differentiate the particular gas exchange problem so that the appropriate supportive measures may be instituted necessitates separating ventilatory oxygenation and acid base imbalances. An even greater challenge to the clinician is to quantitate the degree of acute respiratory insufficiency. In physiologic terms, the challenge is assessment of the remaining cardiopulmonary reserves so that a judgment can be made as to when the stress may initiate cardiopulmonary decompensation. In other words, as important as the actual diagnosis of acute respiratory failure may be, the ability to properly assess cardiopulmonary reserves is of even greater importance. Indeed, the clinical diagnosis of acute respiratory failure or insufficiency depends upon appropriate assessment of the cardiopulmonary reserves. There we go. Completed another chapter. His heart love. Chapter 18 is complete. Next, when we reconvene, we will go into chapter 19 of clinical application of respiratory care by Barry A. Shapiro, Ronald A. Harrison, and Carole A. Trout. Thank you so much for being here, Cud Map. His heart love to the smart part of YouTube. That's right, the intelligent part. Cheers and love. Highest heart love. Yeah, the light workers, we're here. Reading to the people daily. Now we're going to have a glass of love water. send this love out to our friends and family, our parents, our siblings. We love you so much. Thank you so much for being here and shaking it up on YouTube, where we read books and learn from masters. I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Riley. Thank you so much. Love you. Happy Friday. Mm. Oh, that's so good. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. We're shaking it up. That's right. Smacking them in the face with big time energy. Yeah. Master's always going to be mastering, right? So we completed one chapter of one reading. I'm so grateful and thankful for all of you. Highest heart, love, and honor. I want you to have a wonderful Friday, and I will see you soon when we reconvene with chapter 19. After completing 18 today. So I will put the vocabulary in the description and when it's finished posting. Thank you so lovely. Thank you, Jennifer. Oh my goodness. Highest heart love. Thank you for reading with us. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you. You know it. I love myself. We have to respect ourselves. We have to love one another and uplift the people, right? We don't want to put people down. People that try to put people down feel bad about themselves, so they want to make others feel that way. And the light workers, we do the complete opposite. We lift up everyone else because we know that we're divine. So we give grace, right? Highest heart love. Thank you so much. Peace to all the righteous. I will see you soon. Oh, you got braces? Oh, congratulations. Oh my goodness, much love. All right. Well, wishing you the best on your journey, right? Stay strong. You'll only be there for so long, right? All right. Peace, peace.